Afternoon world, Hippy Trev here yet again. Roll that intro. Hi, Hippy Trev here and welcome to my channel. Hope you get something out of it. Alright, well, so it's the same day. I've had a quick look at all your comments and so forth. Getting some really good feedback on that. I just went to try and pump the back tyre up. I must have run it off the bead or something because it's as flat as a pancake now and it's not taking air. So I've killed that, but we do have a workable spare, so that'll be going on tomorrow, not today. First thing, let's get this cover off. So one of the early comments was, throw this cover away. They cook the motors and they're, yeah, one guy said they just throw this away, they cook the motors and so forth, and a good place for mouse nests and everything. And besides that, I need to see what's under here. Maybe when I get it running, I'll put it all back together, keep it original, but I'll see how we go. I said I'm not familiar with these cars. I've never really worked on a Dunnydoor before, so this will be all brand new for me. But we'll see what we can do. Yeah, and price-wise, there's been a few interesting comments. Someone saying thing reckons $800. Another one said about 3,700 with reg and roadworthy. The first thing is work out why that alternator was smoking, and it was smoking hot. I think that's what. Did we get that off? Is it? Yep. So that's the first thing. Look, it stinks. Someone else said the injectors will need doing. Apparently did have a rocker cover leak as well. Poor, it stinks. I'm just going to get in there with the air duster and give it a bit of a dusting. The battery has... the battery started to have a bit of a green light in it now, so bit of mash everywhere. Someone said head gasket. No, well, I don't think the head gasket's gone because water's full. There's well, I haven't checked for a while, but last we looked, oil's nice and clean. There's no water in there, so that tells me there's no blown head gasket. So that's a good, promising start. What am I going to do? I'm going to do something now everyone's going to tell me off for, but I don't care. Well, I mean, I care what I'm doing, but I'm actually just going to put a bit of brake cleaner in there. Hit it with the air duster again. I believe it was actually an electrical problem. So yes, that battery started to come back to life. So I've got that on a trickle charge at the moment. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to... I think I'm looking at some melted wires there, I don't really know. Yeah, so it's starting to come back green, so I'll put it on a trickle charge for the rest of the night. Alright, let's throw a battery in there and see what happens. I've got a semi-charged battery. I'll just go and grab it out of the shed and I'll make sure I've got a fucking spanner that's going to work. Driving it over here from Mr. B's place, I killed the rear tyre, it's gone. Anyway, let's just take the battery in. Add a little bit of juice. And just see if she starts smoking again. And I've got it in the wrong way around. Of course I have. Oh God, they don't give you a lot of room down in here to move, that's for damn sure. I said I don't know anything about Dunnydoors, certainly not my style of car. Brother Pete, he loved them. He loved his Dunnydoors with a passion. Absolutely loved them to death. Rightio, I'll get out of the way. You guys keep an eye on the alternator. See what happens. Yep, she's arcing and sparking. Straight up. There's a short. So maybe I disconnect the main power wire there. Let's have a go at that for a minute. I reckon that's better. About a 13. Maybe a 12. Let's just take the wire off the back. And the other thing is I've got to put all the windows up so I can wash it. So if I take this main feed wire off the back of the alternator for a start. Oop, not big enough. 13. Oh, you fucking cunt. Right in the fucking head. Right, let's get the feed wire off and not isolate it. Yeah, I don't know what to do with this at this stage. Clean it up best I can. Right, the feed wire's off and not touching anything. Let's put the battery back on and see if she arcs and sparks again. I need to get those windows up so I can give it a bath. Right, all good there. No arcing and sparking. That's a start. That is dead as dead can get. I'll bring a battery charger out. This is the only other battery I've got, so I've got to make it work somehow. I'm at half. So the fact that it's arcing with the alternator connected is obviously that that alternator is no good, whatever's going on in there. And it's not a half either, it's not 9/16, it's not fucking half, because it's all fucking metric, isn't it? Let's see if, I've got a jump box there that I just got given recently, so I might chuck that on and see if we can make it start as well. Alright, see if that gives us any more power. Yep. Well, it starts and runs. Starts and runs, all right. Let's just see if that gets hot. Yeah, maybe that bearing's gone in there. Maybe put a bit of bloody. No, it can't be because it's it arcs and sparks straight away. So you can no longer buy Onyx in a can. It comes in a bloody trigger bottle, which is shit, and they want $36 for it. Yeah, that's pretty hot. I'm just gonna. See if that makes any difference to anything. Water's fine. I mean, the motor's quiet. There's no real rattle, so maybe it does just need an alternator on there. Get it up and running. A few muddies up on the top here. Alright, so I need an alternator. Regardless of anything, it 100% needs an alternator. So maybe if I can find something cheap floating around, it certainly starts and goes. And a couple of you said, you know, this was quite a luxury car in its day. Well, it starts no problem. At least with the battery connected now, I can at least wind up all the windows, give it a bath, give it a tidy up, give it a bit of a wash down, give it definitely a bit of a clean up. I'll get this battery back on charge and bring it up to full tilt. I'm going to have a go at that aircon too. See if I can make this aircon work. I suspect that'll be buggered. If I know how to even turn it on. I don't even know how to use these controls. Oh, that's how. Right, so I'm just going to run that. I'm going to watch the temp gauge, see if the temp comes up. Fuel gauge doesn't work. We put 10 litres of fuel in there, that doesn't work. I don't know how to... I did read the mileage. It's coming up. I don't know how to change on the dash. The kilometre reading. I don't know what you have to do to some power mode. It's got a power button on it. Oh yeah, it's got a power and economy button. That seems to work. Bloody security. That's what flattened the battery in the first place. He had it sitting there for all that time. Oh no, there we go. Trip meter. Odo, okay, the mileage isn't what I said it was. The mileage is 368,393 kilometres on the dash, so that's 368,393 k's on the clock, so it's not low kilometres at all. That's interesting. She feels a bit rough just sitting here. I don't even know if the gas gauges are working. There's definitely no cold air coming out, that's for sure. I can't even feel any air coming out. I've switched the mode up the top here. And there's, like, wherever the air's supposed to come out up the top, it's definitely not. I'll just turn that off now. So the temperature gauge hasn't moved yet. All right. Yeah, that's pretty warm, that alternator. So maybe a bearing's gone inside. That's going to have to be replaced. Maybe I'll try and hunt up a second-hand alternator somewhere. I mean, you know, I'd be prepared to put, you know, $50, $100 into it, maybe if it helps him get it back on the road and absolutely running, where it's not going to catch fire or anything. So I'd almost be prepared to do that. Aircon I wouldn't fuck with. The motor runs quiet. It's quiet as a mouse. It's actually quite good. So I'm just going to check all the windows, make sure they go up and down. A bit slow, but the right, passenger side one works. Passenger front. Passenger rear works. Oh, that's a bit creaky. Goes down all right. Doesn't like going up. That one's good. And the driver's side one works. She does feel a bit rough. Maybe someone was right about the injectors, so that's another thing. But I'm going to put the window up. Oh, it fucking stinks in here. It just stinks of mouse shit in here. Actually, you know what? I'm going to leave the windows down a little bit just so I can get some fresh air in here, but I can't leave them down because the cats will come and piss in it. Temperature gauge has started to move. So, you know, we don't know if it's got a block thermostat or something. The fuel gauge doesn't seem to work at all. It's on absolutely empty. But if I go to the mode, distance empty 240 kilometres is what it says. And Yoda, yeah, 368,393 Ks on the clock. All right, we're going to call that a day. I'm going to let it sit for the night. Right, we'll call that a day. I'm going to let it sit for the night. I've got a spare wheel to fit on the back tomorrow at some stage. I'm not doing that tonight. And then I'll get this battery out, put it back on charge. Sorry, I'll get this battery out, put it back on charge. I've got the other battery sitting on a triple charge. So we'll go over and have a look and see what's happening with that. See if I'm getting anything back on it. Oh. There is a green light in there, like there's green outer and red in the middle, and that's how it's supposed to be, but let's get the multimeter and see how many volts we got in there. So having it on the big charger all day might have helped spring it back. I don't know if you can see that. I'll put my multimeter there. 7.6 to 8, 7, all right. Let's just take the charger off for a sec. We're at 6.4 volts. Let's just leave it on trickle charge all night and see if it comes back. I mean, that was a brand new $200 battery. It started the car about 3 or 4 times and then it went into the shed. And it's been in the shed since January this year and it's now into November and it hasn't been started once. And these cars, a bit like these poor old Harley guys that have got their Harleys with these fucking alarms on them, and they go and park them in the shed and they forget about the alarm. They come out 3 months later and the batteries are dead flat because the alarm's been working the whole time. They haven't started or run or put a trickle charge on their bike. Well, I'm afraid that's what's happened with Mr. B. He's just left the car in the shed and the alarm's just sucked all the juice out of the battery, whatever there was. And I think I've debeaded the tyre there as well. I put some air into it and wasn't taking any air, so I might be able to bring that wheel back, I'm not sure, but either that or I've KO'd it. But we do have a spare. And yeah, the last time we drove it, it was like riding on tram tracks because there were so many flat spots. I can't really legally drive it on the road as there's no rego on it, but that's something for another day. So, and yeah, give the motor a bit of a clean down, a bit of a wipe down. So, all right. Day one of the Ram Wham parked, and let's see if we can get Mr. B some dollars out of this. But yeah, I'm going to go and check out and see if I can get an alternator. Mr. GT fan said he might have one down there, but it's all about how much and postage and everything else, mate. Yeah, we'll just have to see what it's worth to get one posted up here if you've got one and how much you actually want for one. There's no point reconnecting that one. That one's definitely buggered. There's no hope for saving that. That's a bin item. You wouldn't even bother repairing it. Probably pick one up for 20, 30 bucks, I really don't know. And if that's all it is, as long as it's just that's burnt out inside the alternator, and we put another one on there and it doesn't arc and spark, we could be in with a bit of a win. So, rightio worlds, that's the end of today. I've had enough. Another day tomorrow. I did actually get my lawns done today. They're nice and neat now. We really need a shitload of rain because my lawns are dying really, really quick. So, anyway, worlds, let's hope I can get in it tomorrow and get a few more things done. But yeah, I think I'll go alternator hunting very shortly. So anyway, catch you later. Bye. Morning, afternoon. Well, it's just gone 12 in the PM and we're back at the Dunnydoor here. One thing I didn't say earlier, hang on, let's get the camera in position. I did do a check on the wiring for the alternator and turns out it's not a wiring problem. It's definitely an alternator problem. The battery's been sent off to the hardware store and I hope to hear back either later today or tomorrow and they will tell me if they're going to replace the battery or not, because this one I've got in here at the moment, it barely starts the car, 12.4. So what I did is I did a continuity test. So I go to continuity, noodly doodly. There's the beep. I touch the feed wire, go to earth. So there's continuity on the feed wire down to the positive side of the battery. There it is, but not to the negative. So it's not a wiring problem, it's definitely an alternator problem. So that sorts that problem out. Whew. Getting a tad warm out here. So anyway, there she is. Oh, I even gave the boat a bath. Comes off heaps better with a bath. So as I was saying, she's looking pretty good. It does actually start and run. I don't know if this battery's got enough crank into it to start it, but we'll give her a start. So there you go, she starts. She is running a little bit rough, but I think that's because it's only surviving on battery power and not off alternator power. So if it starts and runs and goes okay, no problems there. So the motor runs quiet as a mouse, seems to go really good. It'd certainly go a lot better with a decent battery in there and a working alternator. That would be the key to it. So I went and saw Mr. B earlier. Sorry. So I went and saw Mr. B earlier. He wants to pass it on. He wants a late model car. He's got his eye on a car that's about 10 years newer. And if we sell that for some sort of money, that'll put him in his price range. He said, you know, why do I want to keep that? It's, you know, what's it going to be like in 10 years? The aircon needs regassing, and actually the guy who bought Kate, so the minute you start talking aircon, well, I was selling Kate's van, and I had this guy who was going to come down from Bundy. Hang on, I'm just going to put this down, I don't have to carry her. Right, yeah, that's better. All right, so when I was selling Kate's van, it was a Toyota Hiace, blah, 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 and I was talking to him on the phone. I said to him, oh, it just needs the aircon regas. And he goes, oh, I'm walking away. And I was laughing, oh, yeah, yeah. And he says, no, I'm serious. And what do you mean? He said, well, he bought a car, I don't remember what year it was, in the 2000s or 2010s or 15s and 19s. Anyway, I think he paid about 3 or 4 grand for this car. And the ad said, just needs the aircon regassed. Sent it in, $3,500 later. Needed a new pump, needed a new condenser at the front, needed new lines. And the minute I said the van needed regassing, he said, I just don't want to touch it, you just don't know. Same with this, it's been sitting 10 years, you don't know if the pump's going to work, you don't know if the condenser works, and you don't know what else is going on. So sometimes it's just not a simple regassing. So basically the aircon doesn't work, so whoever ends up with this car, they're the ones who are going to have to look at it. But basically at the end of the day, Mr. B wants to pass it on. I just put an ad on Chipbook locally, see if anyone's got a alternator close by. The battery's gone to the hardware. I'll find out either late today or tomorrow if they're going to replace it. And there is actually an alternator sitting over in Scaryborough for about $70. Thank you, Calypso. I did ring Barnsby. I rang Bundy Records. They never got back to me, so I assume they didn't have one. So there's one sitting on the shelf for $70 over in Scaryborough. I'll see how my ad runs. I'll see how my local ad runs and see if I can get one locally. If not, I might have to scoot over to Scaryborough tomorrow and go and pick it up, or maybe even next week. I want to give enough time to get the battery back, and I want to try and see if I can pick up an alternator close by, having to go all the way over to Maryborough to grab one. But at $70, so Mr. B is willing to put I think Mr. B is willing to put a couple of dollars in it just to get one. Well, I don't know what we're going to do about the battery. If they don't replace the battery, I'd like to try and pick up a second-hand battery for maybe $100. I don't want to spend $200 on a brand new battery. I don't want him to spend $200 on a brand new battery. The battery I've got there is, it'll start the car once and that's about it. Although if the alternator's working, it probably would charge it up. So, but then I'm left myself without a decent 12-volt battery that I use for lots of other things. And You know, even the battery might be a little bit dead, it'll still check things, run things, and do things I need for testing in the workshop. So it's handy to have it there, and I'm not ready to give it up for the car. So, but anyway, worlds, that's where we're at. The Dunnydoor is definitely up for sale, and once I can get the alternator into it and take for a bit of a drive up the road, I was thinking, you know, if it runs and goes okay, start at $2,500, work my way down, but there's no reg, there's no roadworthy. Put it on for 2.5 and see if anyone comes at it, and like I do with all the other ads, as the days go by, I start dropping the price by $300 to $400 at a time until I hit the magic number where someone actually wants it. So, I mean, you know, it is a clean, tidy car. Mind you, it is a 96, so it's getting up there. A couple of years older than my bike, or younger than my bike. And as someone said, it's got a pretty cool paint job. It's got all the skirts and everything on it. Interior's quite clean. So it's there. And I don't know how much Dunnydoor you can buy for $2.5 these days. But then, like I said, there's no reg, there's no roadworthy. So what's it truly worth? Like I said, I'm just going to try and get Mr. B as much money as I can. But at the same time, I want the person who buys it to be actually happy with it and happy with the price they pay for it. So anyway, well, that's going to be it for the moment. I might give you a conclusion. Yeah, I'm supposed to be up around 38 today. So I might give you a conclusion video in a few days' time, or maybe when it goes out the door. But basically, that's it where it's at. Like I said, alternator in, battery in there. I'm going to put it online for about $2.5. So anyway, worlds, stay safe, keep your knees in the breeze, and I will catch you later. Bye.